Leslie, and anyone else looking to get a little stronger, starting with some very gentle chair yoga. I'm sending this with all sorts of love and strength and deep breathing. And I'm just going to do like a little flow on a chair that I have set up. And I've got mine, it's just a folding chair on a mat so that it doesn't slide. Obviously, no rolling office chairs or anything like that. You don't want anything that you could move and fall off of or have any kind of comical accident. So something stable, a good sturdy chair. And it helps if it has a back because you can use it to twist with, but it doesn't matter if it's a stool, that's fine too. So let's go ahead and sit down. And nice and tall, and so you're right on those sitting bones, and I always kind of just pull that flesh out and sit really tall, and my feet are parallel and hip distance, nice and flat on the floor. And my hands can just relax on my knees. And from here, this is your xiphoid, that sternum. And I always tell people to think of a pigeon, a proud New York pigeon. So you're opening up here, and those shoulders are up, back, and down. And that neck, imagine there's a golden thread right out of the crown of your head. So you're nice and lifted. Those ribs are lifted up out of your waist. You're on those sitting bones. And right here, gently already, you've got your core engaged. And that is the key to all health with the back and with that deep belly breathing and all of that, is just that gentle tuck of the core and that strengthening of our core. So your belly button is gently pulled back. You're not squeezing. You're not trying to do that tightening, suck your belly in thing, but just a nice gentle, and you find that it's easier to do that when you're lifting the ribs up out of the waist. The shoulders are up, back, and down. That xiphoid is nice and high towards the sky, and that neck is just this nice long extension, crown of the head towards the heavens. And right here, with your mouth closed, you can just begin to gently breathe and bring that breath all the way deep down into the belly. And feel that forehead just smooth out. Let all thoughts just drift away. See them like bubbles. And relax the muscles around our eyes. And you don't want to try to do any like heavy pushing of that breath in and out, because we want to be healing those lungs. So feel that breath really coming down into the belly. But gently, just let that belly fill like it automatically wants to. And then exhaling. And you can do this all through the nose, with that completely relaxed forehead and those eyes, relaxed thoughts drifting. And then we can take our arms and we can just inhale. Stretch them up towards the sky. Really extend those fingertips. I like jazz hands, right up there towards the sky. Those ribs lift even a little higher. That belly button is still tucked. Make sure you don't bring your shoulders up as well. Keep them pressed down away from the ears. Just really shooting energy right out of the fingertips. And you can bring it down and through your heart with that exhale. And then inhale, scooping up energy, love, scoop it up. And exhale. And then we can just gently bring those arms out. Everything is still tucked. Nothing's changed. We're still right on those sitting bones, belly button gently tucked, xiphoid lifted high. Right here, those arms are out in that T position. And then we can just gently twist. You can grab the back of that chair, and you can just relax that hand over the hip. And that heart now, we're still lifted up high. We're still seated the same, keeping those legs parallel, the feet parallel. We're now just turning towards that side. The shoulders, try to keep them even. One shoulder's not higher than the other. And we're just gently twisting. Filling that belly, soft belly, with the breath. And this twisting is sort of wringing out our insides, detox. And then back to center. everything we do, we want to keep that nice solid foundation in that chair and that nice tuck of the core. And then just gently off to that opposite side. Really set up the proper positioning so that we're really gaining all of those benefits. That heart's still lifted high, those sitting bones are still firmly rooted, both of them, not picking up in either one. Really feeling that twist in the waist. And we want to be really gentle because we don't want to encourage any agitation in the lungs, any coughing. So this breath is slow and really deep into that soft belly. And then back to center. And here, in a traditional yoga class where you would be on the floor in that tabletop position, you would do something called cat-cow, but you can do it in the chair as well. So we inhale, we're going to press, kind of arching through that low back, pressing that chest and that heart forward, keeping those shoulders down. You can raise the chin up towards the sky. And as we exhale, we're going to arch back, kind of bringing our chin into our chest and rolling back through that middle back, kind of like an angry cat. How he arches into that middle of his spine. And then we inhale, bring it forward, curving that spine just a little bit as we reach forward, that chin can come up. And as we exhale, again, chin to the chest. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. You've kind of really woken up your spine here, all the way top to bottom. And then sitting up. Another way we can kind of wake up that low spine anyway is do some body circles. So we're staying nice and rooted through those sitting bones. We still got that tuck going on, but now we're just sort of reaching forward. You're going to feel it through that low back. Inhale as we come up to the top of the circle. Exhale as you move forward. And I wouldn't worry about trying to do any of that ujjayi or ocean breathing. You want to be really gentle on your lungs. So keep that breath just nice and steady and slow. As deep into that soft belly. And then of course we want to always go the opposite direction. So whenever you're done going one direction, just go for that opposite and keep that neck just nice and soft and extension. You don't want to be torquing it. You don't want to have your chin up or anything like that. Just kind of keep it nice and parallel. And you're really feeling this in your low spine. So make sure you keep those sitting bones really rooted, and those feet are helping you by being nice and flat and parallel. Use that breath and really extending that spine. And from here we can do a little stretching. So I'm going to take my heel and taking it forward. I don't know if I'm in the shot, but it's going to come forward, and you're just going to plant that heel. Now those toes you're going to bring back towards you. So they're kind of reaching. You're not putting a lot of crazy effort into it, but you're just kind of bringing those toes back, and that heel is planted into the floor. And you can come to the front of the chair with your sitting bones so that it's just sort of your sitting bones right there on the edge. The other foot's nice and flat, grounded. Toes coming back, that heel's planted. Right here you're getting a nice calf stretch. So we can inhale. And as we exhale, we're just going to fold forward. Think of your hips as like a door hinge. That heart's coming forward. We're not rounding in our spine. It doesn't matter how far forward you come. You can lead with that chin, keeping that back nice and straight. And wherever you feel your stretch in that calf and then that hamstring, then you can just relax. But you're just sort of folding over. And then wherever your stretch is, let your head just relax forward. But keeping those toes coming back, you're going to feel that stretch the whole time. And then lead with the chin. And again, that tuck in that belly button as we rise up. We want to keep that spine nice and long and straight. We don't want to collapse and bring the shoulders forward. We don't want to bend, I'm trying to get forward more. None of that. Keeping those toes of that extended leg coming back towards you, that heel planted. This foot is flat on the floor. We're right on the edge of the seat, and we're just hinging forward. We're getting a nice stretch. You can use that breath and let that neck relax wherever that stretch is. You're going to be able to get deeper, and you can try these on the floor. You know, it's that seated, just one leg at a time, forward fold, and we can do that in future videos. And then inhale, lead with that chin, and come right back up, and then of course opposite side. So plant that right foot for me. Now I've got that left heel just planted into the ground, and those toes are gently coming back towards me. Already I'm feeling a nice stretch in the back of my calf. And then right here we can inhale and just hinge. That spine is straight. Xiphoid is reaching forward. We're led with that chin. We're nice and straight through that spine, and wherever the stretch is, just let your neck relax. All that nice soft belly breathing, lowering our blood pressure, releasing our thoughts and our stress. And then lead with that chin, belly button's tucked. Coming right back up. All of this is strengthening that core, and that's really what's going to build strength, protect the back, energize the life, help, spur that metabolism, which we all have slowed down so much with this time at home. And so you can do a couple of these, leading with that chin, hinging forward. I've just got my hand kind of cradled on the back of my calf, but I'm not pulling. Using it to pull myself. I'm just letting gravity do its thing. And then inhale. And you can take both of those feet forward. And here, just so you don't fall off your chair, because we're really kind of perched right on the edge with those sitting bones. We still got that nice tuck. We're still lifted nice and high. And you can kind of just gently hold onto the edge. And that way those heels are planted. Those toes are both coming back now as we come forward. Hinging forward, hanging onto our chair. Make sure you're not in a rolly chair here for sure. And just reaching forward, feeling a stretch in that forward fold. Nice straight spine. Feel that length through the spine. And then lead with that chin. Belly button's tucked. We're getting that core work. And then again, just gently folding, hinging forward. Rising up and breathing deep. And then we can take those legs, those feet, take them wide. And those feet are flat on the floor with the toes kind of pointed out, and your knees are kind of over the center of your feet. And right here, you're going to feel that kind of opening through the groin. So you're still tucked, you're still tall, you're still lifted. Still that crown of the head towards the heavens. And again, here we can do some body circles. You're getting into that spine, but now you're also activating hips, groin. Using that exhale as we come forward and inhale as we rise up. Nice and slow and deep into that belly. And then I always want to do the opposite direction. Take one arm up towards the sky and just reaching. Now both sitting bones are still super grounded. We're not going to pick it up. We're going to keep it totally grounded to that chair. And now we're just reaching over, kind of a nice side stretch, but you're tucked in that belly button, so you're getting like those side, like oblique muscles, all of that. And you can just relax your other hand. But we're just reaching. We're not going too deep, because both of our sitting bones are firmly rooted onto that chair. And then opposite side, just reaching. You can even kind of reach with that heart towards the sky. Just honor your neck. If your chin needs to kind of be tucked down into your chest to relax your neck, that's fine. If it feels okay, you can take that chin and look up at the sky towards that hand. But again, this sitting bone is rooted into the chair. We don't want to pick it up. We want to keep both rooted, because we've got that belly button tucked and we're totally working that core. gaining that strength. And then I always like to do things a couple times each side, maybe 3, just depending on how you feel. And always exhale down and inhale as you come into it. Inhaling, and this helps slow that breath and also just regulating the motion of the body. Keeping that tuck, really building these poses with the integrity. Keeping those sitting bones rooted. And then can just sort of come forward. Let that neck just dangle and hang. And then lead with that chin as we come right back up. Here we can do like a little bit of a chair warrior, but again, we're still seated. So we're going to turn to the side, and that knee kind of hangs off the edge of the chair. So here we've got the 90 degrees, so you want the heel right underneath the knee, and that foot's nice and flat. And we're still like got almost your whole, like this right hip is still firmly on the chair. This one is kind of hanging off the edge, but you feel really secure. And then I'm going to press back, and my toe is pressing into the earth here. So I'm getting a little bit of a back bend here as I sit up nice and straight. This is like a lunge. It's like a warrior, but we've got our heel off of the ground. But here, just lift that chest nice and high. Again, that belly button being tucked. Chest high, shoulders are down. You can take one hand or both hands. Make sure you're secure on your chair. And raise them up right into that warrior one. Fingertips all the way. Just really energize those fingertips as they reach up towards the sky. Chin is parallel to the earth. And we're really pressing through those toes to keep that rear leg nice and straight. This one's grounded at 90 degrees. Just breathe here. You're going to feel a bit of back bend. And then you can drop right arm forward, left arm back. This shoulder is giving me a little bit of trouble, so you can drop it, or if your shoulders feel fine, you're trying to line those shoulders up front to back though. So, and those arms, you want to try and make them even if you can. But I'm kind of babying this one, so I'm going to let it relax. But you can really shoot some energy out of that front arm. And we can come into that reverse. Again, sitting bones aren't moving. From the waist down, we're really not moving at all. So now, as we reach up, you can look up at the sky. And then back to that warrior two. You can inhale, getting a little bit of a back bend as we reach with that heart towards the sky. You can look up, or you can keep your chin down, whatever feels good for your neck. And then let's come off to that opposite side nice and slow. So this time we're 90 degrees, heel right under that knee, reaching out with that rear foot, pressing those toes into the earth so that that leg can be nice and straight. And again, we can inhale one or both arms up. And that warrior one, really energizing those fingers. And this time, left arm forward, right arm back. Try to keep it nice and even. Feel that energy just shooting through those fingertips as you... That hip is urging forward. And we can, if you're going to do both arms out, you can drop that arm to the back of the leg. And come into that reverse. Reaching high. Again, nothing's changing from the waist down. We're nice and rooted. And using that breath, we can inhale. And we can exhale. And then just do as many of those flows as you like. You can come through that warrior two, just coming back. And again, nice and wide. Body circle, you're going to feel, ooh, hello spine, because you've been working that spine, kind of making those little bits of dip and stretch as you were in that warrior, little back bend. So we just give ourselves a nice little massage here. And again, opposite. Always firm sitting bones, never picking up one. And so now we're back to parallel, nice and tall. And we're going to just pick up that left foot and let that ankle just sort of relax. Try to make that foot nice and parallel with the bottom of your foot kind of parallel with the edge of your leg as we're letting that knee drop down. It's sort of like a half pigeon that we're going for here. You're going to feel it in the outside of that left hip as you let that knee just relax down. And there's a little bit of activity in that because you're not just letting your foot just be all, lazy and loose. You're keeping it just a little bit flexed so that the edge of the flat of the bottom of your foot is sort of even with the side of your thigh. So there's just a little bit of a gentle flex. So you're just going to let that rest on that knee. Let this left knee just sort of drop out. You're going to feel it in the outside at that left hip. Sitting nice and tall. Breathing here. And then gently, if you like, you can come forward again. Leading with that heart, leading with that sternum. Coming from that chin, both sitting bones firmly rooted. Nothing's changing from the waist down. And as you come forward, you're going to feel an increase in that outer hip stretch. And again, we don't want to round through our spine to try and get deeper. We're keeping it nice and straight, that spine straight. And wherever that stretches, then let your neck just relax and that chin just sort of drop towards your chest. You're going to feel that nice stretch through that left hip. Which is really nice because we spend so much time seated these days at our computers while we're on Zoom. And then again, inhale that chin forward, core is tucked as we come right back up. We want to do everything with really deliberate intention. So we don't just, sit up. We want to make sure that we build that strong core as leading with the chin. We rise up. And then we can go for that opposite side. So plant that left foot flat, picking up that right foot. And again, the edge of that right foot is going to kind of line up with the edge, the flat of the bottom of the right foot with the edge of your left thigh there. And one hip is always going to be a little different from the other. You can see this one's a little high. I've always got a little tightness. Just let it relax. Don't fight it. Don't push it. Just it'll get more relaxed as you repeat these exercises every day. But we want to be rooted through the sitting bones. We want to be nice and tall. Ribs are still lifted high. We're still gently tucked with that belly button. Just thinking of it just sort of gently coming back. And then that xiphoid, that sternum is lifted high. And we're still nice and tall through the spine with that golden thread right out of the crown of our heads. So here I'm feeling a little more action going on in the rear of this hip. And like I said, each side is different. Each day is different. And so you can just breathe through this stretch. And if you like, you can lead with that chest as you come forward. Definitely feeling it here. And just relax that chin wherever your stretch is. Nice long spine, not rounding through the back. And then lead with that chin coming forward, gently tucked in that belly button still as we rise back up. And then I like to take my feet out and just sort of roll like rolling pins, releasing and relaxing. We can take some wrist action here. We can take the top of your hands together and just sort of press those wrists, the top of those hands together as we dip those elbows down, getting a little release. And then you can take those palms together and press. I like to do this for my shoulders, so I'm going to take arms out, crossing right arm over left arm. Make sure you're doing it, crossing them all the way above the elbows. And then when you bend, those backs of the hands come together. If you can, through your wrists, you can come palm to palm. It doesn't matter though. So we're crossed above the elbows and then bent up. So you've got these nice stretch all the way through the back of those wings, those little I can't remember what they're called right now, but those little bones back there, those wings. You're really stretching through those and through the back of those shoulders. That whole shoulder girdle is getting a really good stretch. And so what I like to do is sitting nice and tall, we're still tucked, nothing's moved from that waist down. Then we can raise those elbows just ever so gently on the inhale. Those shoulders are staying in the same place. We're just raising those elbows up towards the ceiling. Make sure you see it in the shot. So we're just using, it's a very small motion because you really can't come that far, but you're getting a stretch through the whole back of that shoulder area. And then as you exhale, bring them down. So it's very small distance. Inhale up. This is our eagle arm stretch. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And then we want to release very slowly, and then opposite side. So this time, left over right, above the elbow, bending. Those back of the hands come together, or you can take the palms. And then again, inhale, raise it up, and you're still seated nice and tall and tucked. And exhale, just those elbows. Just think of those elbows being what's moving. So you're raising those elbows up. And we're bringing them down. Shoulders are trying to stay down away from those ears. Inhale. Press the heart forward, reaching forward, and then round it back. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. And then from here, I just like to inhale my arms up, and then hinge forward. And you've got a little bit of space here, so that belly kind of can relax between those legs. And this is like a child almost, child pose, what you would do on the floor. And so from here, your chest kind of is between those open legs because your legs are about hip distance. So you just kind of sink down and let those shoulders relax on those knees. And then just let that head, the top of the head, just drop towards the floor as everything relaxes. And you can let your hands come palms up with those fingertips back. And just lay here. And with that belly being able to kind of be between the legs, you can widen your legs even a little bit because we want everything to be relaxed. You don't want to feel like you're down there suffocating for breath. Obviously, especially now, you want to feel breath coming easily. So with that belly kind of between the thighs and that chest between those open knees and everything just relaxed, you can really feel that breath deep into that belly as you just relax everything. And just let that top of the head drop towards the floor so your neck completely relaxes. This is like your child's pose. It's your total recuperative pose. And then I like to keep that chin to the chest and just roll that spine up one vertebrae at a time. And let that neck be the very last thing to come up. And then you can kind of scoot back in your chair a little bit. You still want to stay tall. You don't want to slump back. But you can scoot back just a little bit so you feel more supported on the bottom of your thighs. And now hip distance, feet are flat on that floor. Bring those hands. You can bring them back a little bit and let those shoulders really relax. I like to do a little bowl, so I like make a bowl with one hand and let the other one just sort of rest, palms up, and then those thumbs can kind of touch each other, and that's just a nice connection within your body, and it brings your shoulders down. And again, here, those sitting bones are firmly rooted. We're nice and tall. Let everything be soft in that belly. Still feel the raising up of that sternum and the shoulders up, back, and down, but really relaxed here. This is basically a seated Shavasana, the corpse pose. And again, here is where we're so relaxed. You're in that nice tall seat, but you found this kind of balancing point where you're not fighting or working. You've just found this place where you're nice and tall. Everything's relaxed. Again, those muscles around your eyes. Feel them soft. Feel your forehead is soft. You can feel a nice, gentle smile about those lips. Think of all the beautiful things in your life, your family, work that you love, and this beautiful, strong body that's getting stronger. Healing so that it can bring us through so many more adventures. Love and honor that awesome, awesome body. Just breathing deeply. Feel that new strength that you've built. And new flexibility. And you can sit here as long as you like. You can put on some beautiful music for this whole thing so that it's very relaxing. And when you come out of it, make sure you honor yourself and honor others. And send that energy and that love out into the world. Know that it's coming back to you threefold. Because there's a light shining in me which matches that light shining in you, and it honors that light shining in you. And it unites us all. Namaste. I hope you feel better, and I'll send you some more things and you can grow and you can get off the chair and you can do some other things, but I thought this might be a nice way to just really gently come back into a healing bit of yoga. I'm sending you all kinds of love